Shortly after the release of an audio recording this past Saturday morning of a conversation that allegedly included.
There have long been complaints about poor officiating in the WNBA. Many brushed it off as simple incompetence, but recent developments suggest it's far deeper than that. A leaked audio recording now points to the possibility that the league may be manipulated from the highest levels, potentially involving direct interference from the commissioner's office. This revelation sheds new light on why Caitlin Clark appears to be targeted game after game. An internal investigation is even underway to support these claims. Could this explain the ongoing silence from the league while Clark continues to face mistreatment? The leaked audio suggests a network of referees receiving secret payments under the direction of Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Reports mention bribes, off-the-record travel perks, and consulting bonuses following controversial games. The agenda appears to favor certain players with special treatment, while ignoring or minimizing calls against others. If true, this could be the WNBA's biggest scandal to date, especially considering how questionable the officiating has been in recent games involving Caitlin Clark. One key example happened in the final seconds of a Fever versus Liberty game. After a Fever timeout, Sophie Cunningham passed the ball directly to Clark, who tried to set up a game-winning shot. But she was stripped in a highly physical play, with clear contact, and still, no foul was called.
Screening action down low. Clark has to get open. 1 second left. Clark doesn't get the shot off. Cloud locks her up. And New York comes into Indianapolis and takes the checkered flag.
The officials ignored not only Clark's reaction but also complaints from the entire Fever team, despite the fact that the moment may have decided the game. The Liberty walked away with a 90-88 win. Situations like this make you wonder if the outcome was predetermined. When obvious fouls are missed in high-stakes moments, it doesn't just seem unfair, it starts to feel deliberate. The sheer number of these questionable calls, especially against Caitlin Clark, has become impossible for fans to ignore. Since her rookie season, she has faced repeated hard fouls and questionable no-calls. Take Game 2 of the WNBA playoffs, when the Fever lost 87-81 to the Connecticut Sun. But it was the officiating that made headlines. Just over 3 minutes into the game, Clark attempted a deep three and was thrown off balance by Dana Borner's aggressive closeout. Clark looked to the refs expecting a whistle, but none came.
Rebound against Indiana, something Connecticut did very well in the first quarter of Game 1. Here's Clark, 3 to shoot. Gonna have to hoist from the logo, an air ball, and Clark wanted a foul. Felt like Bonner ran into her. But a shot clock violation.
In another tough 103-88 loss to the Seattle Storm, Clark again faced relentless physicality that went largely uncalled. Early in the game, Storm forward Ezi Magbegor knocked her off balance with clear body contact during a screen, but no whistle. And during one of Clark's signature drives to the basket, she was hit multiple times on her way to the rim. Yet the referee didn't even flinch.
With 8 seconds left, goes around to Gumake, drives baseline, and shot rejected by Ezi Magbegor. Second opportunity.
This leads to an obvious question. Why does it feel like the WNBA is turning against the very player who's helping revive the league? Instead of protecting Caitlin Clark, it seems she's being punished.
I don't know how fair that is, but what I will ask you is this. Clearly, her return has obviously generated additional eyeballs. I have no doubt that the ratings are going to show as much. How receptive do you believe the WNBA is going to, I'm not talking about the league, but the players within the league are going to be towards Caitlin Clark moving forward now that we've seen what her absence, what kind of impact her.
Meanwhile, as Caitlin Clark continues to break viewership records, it's becoming harder to ignore what's happening. Despite her undeniable impact on the league, it often seems like the WNBA is doing everything it can to spotlight someone else. Through all the drama and rough treatment Clark has received, one player has remained untouched: Las Vegas Aces number 22, AJA Wilson. The last time the Fever faced the Aces, it looked like a masterclass in favoritism. Wilson went to the free throw line 13 times, nearly as many as the entire Fever team. It didn't stop there. Every time the Fever started to gain momentum, a timely whistle seemed to halt their progress. The league appears determined to frame Wilson as its leading figure, despite public sentiment clearly favoring Clark. In a recent Aces vs Sun matchup, TV viewership was just 100,000. For 2025, that's shockingly low for a game featuring the supposed face of the league. In contrast, the lowest-rated game featuring Caitlin Clark this season drew 580,000 viewers. The numbers speak volumes, but the league seems to have chosen its side, and it's not Clark. Even Fever coach Stephanie White has started to speak out, openly addressing the treatment her star player has received in post-game interviews.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable.
Fans may not be experts, but they know when something doesn't add up. The latest theory circulating? Money. Specifically, betting. Think about it. How does money flow in sports? Through wagers. With sports betting on the rise, it's possible that certain referees are influencing games to affect betting outcomes. Even a single missed foul can shift point spreads and generate huge profits. The margins may be tight, but the stakes are high. This wouldn't be the first time a referee was caught in a betting scandal. One NBA referee was sentenced to 15 months in prison for using insider information to influence betting outcomes, often on games he personally officiated. While he denied fixing the results, his co-conspirators said otherwise. If it happened in the NBA, what's stopping it from happening in the WNBA? Especially now, with more attention, more money, and more pressure than ever. The real danger lies in losing trust. When fans and players no longer believe the refs are fair, the league's entire credibility collapses. That's a major threat for the WNBA, which is just starting to enter the mainstream spotlight. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's name has now been linked to multiple shady transactions. And some of the referees allegedly involved have officiated some of the most controversial games of the season.
Clark
There's a
muscling
lot.
away.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it.
Even if all the accusations against Engelbert turn out to be false, the question remains: why hasn't she stepped forward to address them? Why stay silent while the league faces this growing storm? If the WNBA's leadership can't be trusted, that puts the entire organization at risk. Fans are already demanding Engelbert's resignation, and the longer these issues remain unaddressed, the louder those calls will get. Everyone hopes this is just a string of unfortunate errors, that it's not as deep as it looks. But this has gone far beyond a few missed calls. It's something much bigger. Whatever the WNBA plans to do, it needs to act fast. Time is not on its side. The last thing the league can afford is to lose the support of its financial backers. Sponsors hate instability. They won't associate with a league whose leadership is facing serious allegations, especially one that promotes itself as a champion of women's empowerment. Some now believe it may be time for Adam Silver and the NBA to take control of the WNBA and steer it in the right direction. It may sound extreme, but maybe that's exactly what the league needs. With new leadership, officials could finally be held accountable. The league could hit the reset button, and fans might feel like their voices truly matter again, because at this point, something has to change. Fast. Let's lay out the facts. Fans are outraged. Refs either making or missing calls that affect outcomes. One star player, AJA Wilson, keeps getting favorable treatment, while another, Caitlin Clark, keeps getting targeted. You've got leaks, investigations, and a commissioner who hasn't said a word. All while the league tries to prove it belongs on the biggest stage, but risks losing it all. This isn't just about one player, one foul, or one rivalry. It's about trust in the referees, the leadership, and the integrity of the game. If the WNBA doesn't take immediate action, it won't just lose fans, it could lose players, sponsors, and its future altogether. You can talk about empowerment all day long, but if the game doesn't feel fair, fans won't watch, players won't stay, and the league won't survive. So here's the real question. Will the WNBA clean house, or collapse under the weight of its own silence? Stay tuned, this story is far from over. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.